A year or two ago, I was in a flood, and the course of a river changed. It destroyed many possessions I have. One of the possessions I had was an old collection of baseball cards. After the flood, they looked like this. Now, these have been soaking for a while. But this top card, you'll see how all that's pulled off. Well, that's what happened when I tried to separate the card without doing something else first. So what I've done instead now is I've made a cold water bath with Dawn dishwasher detergent in it. I figure if it's good for, oil covered birds, it's good for nearly everything. And now where this was a absolutely stuck bunch of cards, now I'm beginning to get to the point where I can separate them out. And what I can also do at this point, see how a lot of these are mucked up, and some of this is mud that's kicked in there. But see, I'm pulling this apart pretty well. Now I'm doing it gently, but here's a Don Smith card. It actually looks pretty good. So when I see that they're looking pretty good, I'm just letting them soak some more. There's one, Don Hasselbeck. So I'm going to put him back in here. I'm going to take this Don Smith one, since he looks pretty good, and I'm going to move him over here to this paper towel for some initial drying. I'm not even going to wipe off see the little bubbles where the Dawn dish detergent is. I'm just going to leave that right on there. Because my feeling is, heck, if it's good for dying sea ducks, it might be good for the card. I don't know. Anyway, I hope that helps, and thanks for watching. This is actually working surprisingly well. Now, this card I tried to pull apart while it was dry, and it pulled all the ink off the front. Probably left all of it on the back of the card under it. Now, there's still a card under it, but I believe now, I'm not going to throw that away. I'm just going to sit it over here. I'm not going to throw any of them away. Here's Jim Plunkett. Well, I couldn't even see Jim Plunkett before. In fact, there's another card under Jim Plunkett. Let's see. Now, one thing that I want to say is I like to go very slow. There's Fred Dreyer. He looks pretty good. He lost, well, some of that is, yeah, he lost a little bit of his paint right here, but still, compared to the mess that I made out of Fred Dreyer trying to pull them off dry, this is so much better. So let's just keep going. There's Calvin Hill. Has he got somebody stuck to the back of him? Probably. Yeah, he does. Look here. There's Jim Plunkett again. I've got more than one Jim Plunkett card. I wonder if he's... I don't know if any of these cards are worth anything. This is Calvin Hill from the Redskins. Of course, as you all know, the Redskins are not the Redskins anymore, but we won't get into that. But just look at how well this here is going. Now, see, these are all one big clump here. There's something on the back of that made out of a different kind of paper, but boom. Tom Hicks. See, I can tell by the weight of some of these that there's more than one card there. They're very thin. John Dutton. He looks pretty good. Of the Colts. Danny Buggs of the Redskins. Tim Mazzetti. You know what? I have hope. I've got a big stack of cards in the other room. Like I'm talking probably about 8 inches, an 8-inch stack of cards in the other room. And I took these to a card shop, actually a big, reputable, I think reputable card shop the other day, and they said they're ruined. Nothing you can do with them, might as well throw them away. Well, I think I beg to differ. All right, now I'm going to stop. I notice I am still doing a little damage, but I'm just going to let these soak more. One thing I noticed too, the water's getting dirty, so what I may do as I go along is just get in the habit of changing the water. It wouldn't take much. In fact, I could just take this water, pour it right out, along with the dirt that's in there. I could squirt some more Dawn in it, put some more fresh water on top of that. Just set them right back over here in the clean, fresh water. And let's just put a lid on them so that, still for the heck of it. All right. We'll leave them there. What I'll do when I get a whole sheet of these is I'll put another paper towel on top of that. And I'll leave them sit. I believe the paper towel will soak the water into it and out of the card. At a certain point, I probably want to set them all someplace to dry. But geez, that's a lot better result than I was having before. Thanks for watching. So I changed the water once, and you can see it's still dirty. I got all of these cards and all of these that are under here and more under there. And what I'm going to do is put a paper towel over this. I'm going to take this second piece of this foam board, just put it over the top of that, and I'll set it up there to let that dry. Now I've got some other cards up there that are wet, and this is a kind of a time-consuming process and a little bit of a delicate process. So what I might do is do a few cards here and a few cards there over time. When these get dry, I'll pull them out and we'll take a look at them and see how they look. But I hope that helps. You know, when I discovered that I had actually quite a lot of cards damaged, I went looking and I couldn't find anywhere where they would tell me how to clean them up or get them separated. This worked pretty good. I don't know how good. I don't know if these are faded or if they're good enough like they are. I guess, you know, I guess they probably grade baseball cards, and I'm guessing if they, when they were to grade mine after I cleaned them up, they probably wouldn't be grade A perfect, but you know, they're not completely ruined, and somebody can still look at them and see them, and you know, for some folks that might not be good enough. I mean, that might be good enough. You know, it might be that not everybody needs a baseball card to be perfect to find value in it. So anyway, there those ones are, and I'll follow up later when I pull these things out, and we'll look at what we got then. Hope you're all having a nice day. I appreciate you watching. Take care now. Goodbye. So last week I made a video where I dried some, cleaned some baseball cards, and I put them up to dry, and I'm going to pull them down now. We'll see what they look like. And I put them up here because it's a high place. It would make sense to me that there'd be more heat up in this part of the house. It would be a drier part of the house. I put them on this board. It seemed like a safe place to put them and keep them for a short while. So, and I wanted to kind of put them on something that would maybe help them not curl up as they got dry. So I'll come over here with me. We'll take a look, see what they look like. Some of them did stick to the cards, and some of them did curl a little bit. See how that's going. Yeah, and they got that look, the way something looks that it's been wet. They no longer are flat. So they may be ruined. I don't know. You know, they're dry. And you know, I don't know if you could iron them, like if you could put them inside of a book and flatten them out. I don't know if they'd still be worth, you know, anybody would want them. I've got a lot of these to do, so I can maybe perfect the process. Or I may give up and throw them all in the garbage can. What do y'all think? Are they worth saving? Are they worth going through that much trouble to save, do you think? I don't know. You tell me. Anyway, that's what they look like, and I'm not as happy as I hoped I was going to be about them, but at least they're better than they were. So maybe what I'll do is, these are good and dry. Maybe what I'll do is leave them down, find me an old song hymnal out in the barn and set them inside there and let it squish them flat.
Anyway, once again, thanks for watching. Appreciate y'all.
I was talking about these cards and them being wrinkled up after I dried them off, and Honey Baby let me borrow some of her books, so what I'm going to do is just take these cards and just stick them in here, see if I can flatten them up. Like I say, I know that this might not work, meaning that these cards may not be worth anything anymore. That one's still a little wet. That one is too. Interesting. So I'll take the dry ones and I'll put them in here. I guess one way to find out if these are any good is run them on eBay. You know, I used to sell lots of banjos on eBay. These would be a lot cheaper to ship. I could run them on eBay and just say, hey, these have been wet and dried and flattened. Anybody willing to make any kind of bid on them? I mean, just see. If nobody bids, then I'll know pretty well that, yeah, nobody wants them. I might want to, if I do this again, look for a better way of drying them. See, these still have a little moisture to them. Not all of them, but some of them did. I might want to see if I can flatten them and dry them at the same time. See, these are just kind of wet. Those ones are. I wonder if I stuck one of those wet ones in there, whether it would stick or whether it would dry flat. Might be another way to dry them. Stick them in there. Alright, I'll take all this stuff and put it away, and I'll think about this some more, and we'll take it from there. Thanks for watching.